Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoovy186 back again with another video. As you can see from the picture above, obviously Nintendo has basically said, "Fuck you, 3DS original 3DS owners. We're gonna make a new handheld and then rename it the new 3DS. At least as it's called right now. We don't know if it's going to stay that way, but regardless of what the fuck it's called, it looks like a 3DS. It just has several improvements. It's basically a new handheld that they've made. And look, if you look at all the stuff that they've added, they added the extra stick, they added the extra shoulder buttons. I think they improved the 3D integration. Essentially, what Nintendo did was make the handheld that it was supposed to be in the first place. That's essentially what they did. Everybody wanted two sticks. What they do, they made a handheld with one stick, and then they decided to make perhaps the worst add-on peripheral I've ever seen in my life. The tumor known as the circle pad, the second circle pad attachment. You know what I mean? The 3D on it sucked, it wasn't comfortable to use, at least in my opinion. At least the 3DS one felt better, but the original one didn't. So basically, what they did with the new 3DS is basically make the handheld it should have been in the first fucking place. And they've added more power and all the other stuff, so they essentially made a new handheld. But the thing about this that irritates me the most is that one game, and trust me, this isn't going to be the only fucking game. Like I hear a lot of you fucking idiots, stupid Nintendo fanboys say, the game that is going to launch with is Xenoblade Chronicle, which is a Wii game that is being ported to the new 3DS. Now that's the key word, new 3DS, because this game is not going to be compatible with older 3DS models, like the 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS, and all that other crap. And I guess that's all the crap. But yeah. So basically, what Nintendo wants you to do, or at least that what the thought process is, what they basically want you to do is spend upwards of $200 to play a Wii port on the go. That's essentially what they're telling you to do, because I would say that maybe some people wouldn't have a problem with just basically selling off their old 3DS and getting the new 3DS. But the problem is the next day they're showing off a bundle for the older 3DS model, for the 3DS XL, whatever the fuck, for Smash Brothers, the new bundle. So basically, what Nintendo wants you to do, they want you to own one of the three the three versions of the 3DS, right, that they have right now. Plus, they want you to get the new 3DS. Like, what? This is anti-consumer practices that they're doing right now. And I guarantee you, if Sony or definitely Microsoft tried to do this, the internet would end. The internet would get destroyed. People would be bitching, complaining about this, and rightfully so, because people can see through the bullshit. And to my pleasant surprise, there's been quite a few Nintendo fans who are against this, who are absolutely against this. But you have your core Nintendo fanboys, and there's actually a couple guys who I follow, who I subscribe to, who are very reasonable, but they're defending it. They can, and one of the defenses that they're using is, oh well, they've done it before. And I always hear the first example, oh, Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Well, Game Boy Color, came out 10 years after the original Game Boy. It was a necessary upgrade, completely necessary. And then the other one with DS and DSi, yeah. Well, just because they did that, just because they did it back then, doesn't make it right. It still didn't make it right. The fact that they had exclusive games for DSi that weren't able to be played on the DS is bullshit. Like, it's anti-consumer. It still is. It doesn't fucking matter whether it was done years ago or now. It's still anti-consumer bullshit. And and I think that paid enthusiast dude who's apparently very obsessed with how I look. I'm sorry that that you're not sexually attracted to me, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but he used the example. Oh well, you couldn't play Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the original DS. Well, what they fucking do? It's another fucking Mario game. Xenoblade Chronicles is one of those games that is a great showpiece for showing off the power of any game. Like, it's arguably one of the great RPGs of our time, and Nintendo basically saying, "Hey, yo, we'll charge you $200 to play this game because, like I said earlier, this game is only available on the new 3DS." It's complete and utter bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. Like, especially if they keep the name New 3DS, it's so stupid. Like you know, you always hear like an interview from a guy from like Iwata or Miyamoto, or at least in this more recently Miyamoto, Fizumi. They talk about how we've learned our lessons from the past. We learned our lessons from launches of our past consoles. You know what I mean? Like, and you look at this news and you look at the potential name for this device and you're like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. All these assholes all they do is just talk. That's all they do. There's no action taking place on this, because they're if they name it the new 3DS, they're basically just doing the same shit they technically did with the Wii. But what they're doing with the Wii with the Wii U, but what they're doing is actually worse, because now it's just completely lazy. Now this is our new 3DS. Like, just imagine if you're your kid watching Nickelodeon, and a 3DS commercial comes on and they're showing off Xenoblade Chronicles. Little Jimmy goes to his mother and be like, little Jimmy comes up to you and be like, "Hey, yo, I want that game on my 3DS." I'm like, "All right, fine." He goes to the store. He goes to one of those the thousands of clueless employees that they have over at GameStop, and they're like, "Can we get Xenoblade Chronicles?" Like, sure. So they pass him the game, and either she's gonna or either you are going to be surprised by the fact that you have to actually buy new hardware to play this game. Even though if you look at the commercial, they show you the handheld, it looks basically the same as your old one. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna take the game home. You're gonna put it in the old 3DS and it's not going to work. It's a complete and utter fail on the business end. And the other thing that I have to that I hear, and I heard this from I think, what's his name? What's that dude's name? I just subscribed to him recently. Dude has shaggy hair or whatever. Yeah, I can't remember. I know I know it for sure. It's Hit 64, and he was saying how this game was made this handheld, the new 3DS was made for hardcore gamers or core gamer. And I heard that fraud, that piece of shit, Furious Francis say the same shit. It's funny when you do research. You find out a lot of things that you should know. If you look at the article that I'll link below, and I have pictures up above, they've always tried to tout the 3DS, the original one, when it first came out, as a console, as the handheld for hardcore gamers. You have articles of them. You have other articles of them saying that tablets and cell phones are not dedicated gaming devices. We're looking for the hardcore audience. You had like they're saying that about the 3DS, and now you hear from these fucking idiots, these fucking mindless Nintendo cocksuckers who sit there and they're now like, "Oh well, the 3DS, it wasn't for the core gamer. It was kind of for the core gamer, but this is for the core gamer. Period. Like, absolutely for the core gamer." Like, it's so stupid, because the article that I have below shows otherwise. Look at the games that were released on the handheld when it first came out. Look at like it's obvious what their target audience was in the beginning. It's fucking obvious. But you have these mindless drones who are gonna sit there and defend everything that this company does, and it's bullshit. This is anti-consumer bullshit right here. Completely anti-consumer. Like, I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense, and I mean, man. It would. I guarantee you that if Sony or Microsoft did this, these guys would not be saying the same shit. Like you have games that are being remastered. These guys are bitching and complaining. Oh, you guys are just getting regurgitated shit. You guys are getting regurgitated games and all other stuff. But yet Nintendo gives you a remaster of a handheld device of hardware, and yet you guys are okay with that. It's fucking stupid. But anyways, pretty much all I had to say. Movie 186. I'm out.